Hey up troops, Littleton here again with another video, and we're continuing with the setup guides. This time we're going to look at Kafe. We don't need to waffle, we know what we're doing. We've had enough of the intro, I've had enough, you've had enough. Let's get stuck into it. Right then, so getting started with the top floor then, we've only used 6 reinforcements here. It's the left hand side of the cocktail wall as you look at it from inside cocktail. The 2 freezer walls. Well, actually, this is called storage. This is actually called freezer. Everyone just calls this freezer as well, but this is bar storage. This is freezer. So the 2 bar storage walls. Shoot the absolute out of these speakers. And also, if you hear this noise, like the clock ticking, you can stop that by shooting the 2 things that dangle down, and that stops it ticking. We then do the 2 walls that go to top red. And then finally, the left-hand side of the bathroom wall from when you're inside the bathroom. Obviously, from the other side, it's the right side. So let's get started with rotates and lines of sight and why we do them. First one is the obvious rotate, which goes between cocktail and close to the bomb. You want this to be able to not, so you don't just have to go through this door. If you ever need to make your way this way, you don't want to be forced through this door, mainly because you're going to get held from the skylight. Making this rotate means you can now come through here if you need to, up over this desk if you need to, or whilst not being peeked from the skylight. Also, it's a really nice place to be able to fight onto this door and just be able to sneak through here, crouch. They don't know you've come through, and all of a sudden you pop up here instead. Really useful place to play. Also, from here, I don't know if you know, there's a tiny pixel where you can see the default plant spot, which is here. You can see, you can't really see it from here that well, but you can see it down there at the edge of the table. So you can hold if anyone comes through. Sometimes it's difficult to get the shot because when someone comes past, it's pretty fast, but you'll see them cross there, so you know they've moved sideways, so you can start deciding how you're going to play that. So, we then got another rotate over here on the bar storage wall to top red. Sorry, top white. And the reason we make it on this side of the wall, do not make it on that side of the wall. Reason being is, if let's just pretend I'm on the skylight here. When you're on the skylight, you can see this part of the wall here. You can't see that part. So if you come through the wall here, you can be seen from the skylight. So don't make the rotate this side. Always make the rotate at the back, and then you can always safely go through. The freezer wall here stays double reinforced. Now this wall is an interesting one to talk about because there's a benefit and a con to doing a rotate on either side here. So if you do the rotate on this side, you'll never be held from... So a common place for attackers to drop is this hatch here, right? And the attackers will hold this angle, and then they'll move here, and then they'll move here. Now, if you make the rotate on the left-hand side of that wall, this can be held from this area here. If the rotate's down on the right side of the wall, as in down in that corner down there, the rotate can't be held from here because you can only see the light. You can see up to there, which, as you can see, is the left side of that wall. However, if you make the rotate on the right side, you can see your little toes from the skylight. So you've got to make your mind up which you prefer. I actually prefer making a vault rotate on this side of the wall, because then you know you come through here, you can then peek there if you need to. Whereas if you come through a rotate, let's pretend the rotate's here, and we come through the rotate at this point, you're going to get smoke from this angle. We then make a line of sight here, and this is used for the person who plays around this area. Now, this area here is called Pixel. It's called Pixel because everyone used to, some people still do, but everyone used to put a deployable shield here, and if you put it on a certain angle, you can peek around this side, you can hold a pixel. So this area here is called Pixel, or Pixel Door. So the idea of this area is you'd hold this window, and this window, and the double door. But if you need to, you can back off to here. You can peek that side, but now we've got this here. You can peek that side as well, so you can keep peeking both sides. Again, if you were to double reinforce this, any attackers pushing this area know that you can only peek from this door. Like, if this was reinforced, you can only peek from this door. Whereas when an attacker walks in here, they're like, oh, okay, are they here? Are they going to peek from here? Are they going to peek from here? Are they going to peek from there? Just gives multiple ways that you can catch them off guard. This is the big one. This is the trash wall. This one here. And it's not called the trash wall because it's a rubbish wall. It's called the trash wall because there's some bin bags. There's some bin bags or trash bags for our American friends right here. So, a common place for attackers to plant, and it happens a lot. If they're not going to be planting here, they're going to plant either in this corner or behind the bar here. And if you do this, if you're in white stairs, oh sorry, if you're on cocktail coming from white stairs here, and the plant's going off over there, as soon as you peek this double door, you're dead from here immediately, because people are going to be holding this double door from here. So, what having that wall means is you could come this way instead, and now we've got one of those one-way angles that we talked about on other maps where you could stop the plant there or there. You can even from here, you see where the new hatch angle is that we were just talking about. If you know they're not going to be coming through this way and they're going to be coming there, you can even hold that angle from here. It's a really good one-way angle. You get no benefit as a defender, in my opinion, from reinforcing this wall. Don't do it. The other thing I like to do all the time, by the way, is make a punch holes along here. And make multiple. And then make one this side as well. This one is only... What a lot of people do is repel on this window within the first 30 seconds of the round. And they tend to make like a punch hole at the top of the window. Have a quick look if they can catch anyone off guard on this double door whilst they're still setting up sight. And then they go to the roof. If you sit here, you can like play that. No one's ever looking for you here, by the way. But you can always try and catch somebody off guard as they peek that window. These are for anyone walking in cocktail. So I keep saying cocktail. For anyone walking in cigar shop, which is this area here, you can just hold an angle onto there. If you make those punch holes further over, as the attacker comes in, if they do see the punch holes, the first thing they're going to do is fire at the first one they see. They're not going to start going between the different ones. So it's just another angle you can hold there. The other thing you need to consider is this area here. If you can play a mute... Excuse me, just had to cough. If you can play a mute, playing in this area is actually pretty strong. You've got to watch for this window, but hopefully you've got somebody playing in piano. You've definitely got to have somebody playing in piano, by the way. Even if they play in piano and then eventually back off, you've got to have... If you give piano up within the first, like, 60 seconds, your job as a defender is an absolute nightmare. So having someone around here is helpful as well. Just a quick random tip, which doesn't really do anything for the setup guide. When you start the round, you're pretty much safe to be here for the time being until this hatch is open and this hatch is open. Listen how they open the hatches. If they go up to the roof and you hear a sledge and they sledge the hatches open, just run away. If they use a shotgun to open the hatches, just run away. 1 out of 5 games, I don't know that as an exact statistic, but roughly 1 in 5 games, you'll hear an attacker put a breaching charge on this hatch or this hatch first. If you sit here, you'll hear the breaching charge go on one of those 2 hatches. As soon as you hear it go on that hatch, go and get your C4 and put it on this hatch. If you're playing an operator with C4, don't throw a prox alarm up there. But go and put your C4 on that hatch and blow it straight away. Because what will happen is they place a breaching charge here, and then they go over here and place a breaching charge on this hatch. Or it'll be the other way around. But just stand here. I do this all the time because I play bandit on this site mostly. I just sit here, wait to hear a breaching charge. If it's a shotgun or a sledge, I just run away. If I hear a breaching charge go on this hatch first, I get ready on this hatch for the C4. Works all the time. Right, some more lines of sight that you need to know. Firstly, is this one. Never reinforce this wall. You don't get anything for reinforcing this wall. Like, there's no real benefit. This angle is really nice. Jump up onto this desk. You can now hold the cocktail door from there as well. All the attack... I've said cocktail door again. Why have I said cocktail door? That's the cigar shop door. If I say cocktail one more time, I'm going to donate a $5 to charity. So you stand on here and you can hold the cigar shop door from here. As an attacker, you're always looking towards... This is cocktail, so I can say cocktail now. I'm not talking about this area. You're always looking towards the cocktail double door, and as you walk in, you're worried about the rotate here and the door here. You're certainly not looking up here. Something else that I can't say is mine. I saw this on Twitter recently. With the introduction of the lineup, you know, like the gadget lines and throwable lines, we've just talked about how the default spot is behind that, or one of the default spots is behind that bar there. Playing a smoke here, you can now line a smoke up to go over the top of this reinforcement. I haven't actually tried it yet myself. Do you have to stand up? I'm concerned because that piece of debris shouldn't be there. I feel like this... we're going to do a bit of testing here whilst we're making the video. So it definitely goes over the wall. Where does it land? Oh my god, look at that. So from there, I was just stood up when I did that. So yeah, from there, over the top right hand side of the reinforcements. Wait until you see it at the top and then bring it down. Throw it over there. And that's the whole default plant spot. Completely smoked off. That is so, so good, man. That is an incredible strat. You would never be able to get that line up without the like you would spend ages learning the different pixels to get that over there. Look how easy that is to do now. So yeah, that's good. Quick one is the reading door underneath. You can always make a little hole. That's the reading door underneath. And again, the laundry door underneath is here. You can hold the laundry door if you need to. The reading one's probably a bit more important. Just be careful though, if you're making that hole, one of the few places you can stand in this side that's safe is behind this reinforcement. And if you're like stood here, like thinking, do I peek that door? Like, you know, you stand here to peek and somebody's on the reading door, you've made a line of sight for them as well. This is a really good site, really fun site to play. I enjoy it. Hopefully you do as well, and this gives you a bit of a hand. I think it's the strongest site on the map. It's definitely between this and kitchen, but I think top floor probably just edges it for me. So that was how to defend and set up top floor. Before we get into the kitchen, let me just say a massive thank you to Intel UK for sponsoring this video by sending me out a laptop before we went to 6 Invitational in Brazil, which enabled me to make content on the move, the vlog videos that you've seen on the channel whilst I was in Brazil, and also the solo queue video I did whilst I was out there in the hotel room as well, was all possible thanks to this bad boy. Sent by Intel, designed for making content and multitasking while on the move. Built for the next generation of gaming and content creation, Intel Core powered laptops are designed to deliver high performance experience you never thought was possible on a laptop. Game, create, and multitask without compromise, all powered by Intel's new performance hybrid architecture, which I can attest to. I was recording and playing Siege and editing on the laptop all at the same time, and multitasking was no problem at all. The link's in the description where you can get yours, and they're also available in local retailers also. Thank you ever so much once again to Intel UK. Okay, so we're downstairs in kitchen now, and we've used 8 reinforcements. There's a way more of a setup required down here than there is upstairs. So let's go through the 8 reinforcements very quickly. We've got 1 on the hatch, 2 and 3 on the freezer wall, 4 on the wall to red stairs, and maybe 5, but we'll talk about this in a second. 4 so far. 5, 6 on the bakery wall, 7 out here on the prep wall, and then 8 in the bakery to small bakery wall. So we've used 8 reinforcements. We haven't reinforced this wall here. Now, do you reinforce this wall or not? So let me show you what you do if you don't reinforce it. Okay, couple of things. One, you don't reinforce this wall generally because you can now hold, you see the window for small bakery is there. So from there, you can now hold anyone that jumps in small bakery. You can also hold a different angle onto the double door if anyone comes through. You can also hold, this is coat check, you can also hold coat check from here, which is important. However, what's probably more of a reason to keep this wall open is if, let's just pretend this wall's reinforced and we're an attacker. And as an attacker, we fight our way through prep and we fight our way through the window and we get to this point here. And we know that there's nobody in this side of kitchen. We can now plant for free behind the bomb and it can't really be stopped other than a big lucky C4 thrown from the other side of kitchen. There's nothing you can really do to stop anyone planting here. Granted, you can, you know, you can hold pixel peaks here and you can hold this bomb and there's a lot you can do to stop them getting to this point. But if they do get to this point, they take bakery, they take prep, and they get to this point here, you've pretty much lost the round because they can just plant behind the bomb. However, if we open this wall and you're on the other side of kitchen, you know, you're in here and you're like, oh, they're planting behind the bomb, I can't do anything about it. Now you have a way of stopping that plant. You can come around here and you can peek behind the bomb. You can hold prep from here. I don't really recommend playing in this corridor because it's the busiest part of the site. But in an extreme situation, you can get around to here. You can stop them planting behind there. The other thing you can do is play this area with mute. Put a mute jammer here. Put a mute jammer here. And just hold this area. If you go and have a look at a couple of my Kafe solo queue videos, you'll see that I play castle around here sometimes. And now from here, you can hold the prep door so they can't even come out. And if they do come out and plant behind the bomb, you can stop it. Or you can throw a C4 to the other side of the site. I prefer having this wall open. But in lower ranks, what tends to happen is somebody's watched, like Macy J do this. Or somebody's watched another big streamer do this. Or they've watched Pro League and they've done this. So they do it. And then they run away and play somewhere else. This is only good if you've got somebody who's here or somebody who's going to actively play this area at the start of the round. If not, reinforce it off, because it can end up causing you more trouble than it's worth, because you get attackers like coming down to here, going prone and just holding across kitchen here, and if you're not prepared for it and you're not going to play these holes, then it can cause you a few problems. So I think what I would say is, depending on the rank you're in, and depending what your gun skill is, and depending on how confident you are and having that wall open, and just bearing in mind that if you lose this part of the map, the plant goes down behind the bomb, there's not a lot you can do about it. Just think about if you want that open or not. In terms of more lines of sight, I always open this all the way across this wall, and that gives you then an angle where if you're on this side of kitchen, you can at least hold prep door from up here, or prep window. And it also means that if that plant's going down where we just mentioned, you can C4 over the top and try and stop the plant going down. Other lines of sight that we need are across the bottom here, a prep wall. Just like that. The reason we do that is because if both of these walls are reinforced, all the attacker has to worry about is here and here and here when they come in. However, if this wall's open, or these feet holes are open, it's a real concern for the attackers that they have to worry about this area here. You might not even bother peeking it. You might not hold it actively, and I almost recommend you don't, because you don't want to give your life away early. But it's just another thing for the attackers to think about. You get a good angle from the window onto anyone's feet that came through from all the way back here. You can see the door there. But obviously just bear in mind the attackers can shoot you from there as well. In terms of other lines of sight, I also like opening just a quick hole at the top of here. Means you can just chuck a C4 over the top, or you can impact trick, so you can chuck an impact grenade at the if they're putting like an ace charge or a thermite charge on the other side of this wall, throw an impact grenade over here so it explodes on the roof, and the explosion splash damage will destroy the hard breach that's on the other side. You can do the same here. You're not going to impact trick this obviously, but you can throw C4s over. This was always a nightmare of a C4 for me. I would always get my C4 caught on the roof there, but obviously now with the new lines that show you where the C4 is going, oh, it's landed there. Yeah, I probably need to work on that. You don't want that landing there. You want it landing like right there, which is possible. And that's about it, really. There are some vertical holes that you need to hold, if I'm honest with you. You do need to have somebody playing upstairs. I'll just touch on this quickly, because I know it's more of a site setup and it's not about roaming. But definitely have somebody playing upstairs and hold this angle here. You see the prep angle? That's the wall to prep. They're the feet holes we were just talking about. And now you can hold anybody walking into prep from above as well. It's also a good place to stop them opening the hatch, which is here. No one coming through this window. Just a really solid place to play. Like, play with like a lesion. Put a goo mine just there. And put a goo mine on like the other side. And just a couple of goo mines there and there. And then also one on the window. And just cover yourself off. So you almost play the lesion a bit like a nomad, where you're not really bothered about the damage the goo mine does. You just want the information that somebody's pushing you. There's a load of other verticals you can make as well. Like this is for outside the double door here as well. And you can look onto red stairs from here. Bottom of red, that's coat check there. Look at the bottom of red stairs from here if you want to. There's a ton of other vertical you can do. But in terms of just setting up the site, that's what I do. One thing I would say not to do just quickly is, I see it all the time, even in like the elo that I play at, which is like high diamond, low champ, is people doing this. The reason they do that is because they think you can then hold, which is kind of true, but you can then hold people walking in, so you can see their feet as they walk across and they can't see you from this angle, which is true. But you only need to make one hole. Like, just when you want to do that, just make one hole here. Leave the wall from here onwards solid. Like, don't shoot any of the rest of it. Just one hole here. All you need when you're holding this angle is to see their feet once, and you know where they're going to be. The reason why I don't recommend in a line that long is because an attacker can just sit here from relative safety and hold pretty much half of the side there. That's the window. You as a defender, you're probably going to be playing around that window to try and stop people getting into prep. You don't want to just have an attacker go prone here. But you see, if we leave the wall, if we make a hole like this and we leave the wall solid from there onwards, when the attacker's here, they can't see that window. They could only see it up to there. So yeah, definitely don't make that line as long as everybody makes it for some reason. And that's downstairs. I hope, again, that's helpful. Let's get on to the two remaining sites. Next site is Fireplace Reading, and you may notice I'm playing Castle because I'm going to show you what is the best strat in Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Certainly for Kafe, anyway. I actually really like playing Reading and Fireplace. It's probably my favourite site on the map, even though I don't think it's as strong as upstairs. But for now, I'm going to show you the setup. So we've used 6 reinforcements, and you can see the castles as well. So I'll go over the reinforcements and the castles, then we'll do the rotates and lines of sight. So 2 on the back of Reading Room. We've got the castle there on Reading Door. No other reinforcements downstairs. Castle on Pixel Door. 3, 4 reinforcements there. 5, 6 reinforcements there. And we've got a castle on the Cocktail Double and a castle on the Heaven Door as well. Now, in terms of rotates and lines of sight, let's go downstairs first before we start talking about upstairs, because upstairs is just the way I hold it, but let me show you what you need to do downstairs. So firstly, make a line of sight all the way across this wall. And you want to make it slightly higher, because what you're going to do ultimately is you're going to be holding the fireplace from here at the end of the round usually. So if you only make the line of sight like this high, when you're holding here, you're not going to be able to see the fireplace. You want to open the hatch. You want to rotate in laundry. That's not good enough. Magic. Then we want feet holes all the way across this wall. And then we want feet holes all the way across here. And finally, feet holes all the way across here. Now, you're never really going to have anybody playing in Fireplace because it's not really safe to do so. You also... Sorry, I forgot to mention this. I want to rotate here. Can we get through that? No, we can't. Of course we can't. There we go. This is just so the fire... If someone can rappel on this window and they can just hold the fireplace, and it stops anyone getting from that room to this room. So being able to have this rotate here means that if anyone's in train, it means they can come through this rotate here safely, and they can fight onto the window without just being held from the fireplace. So no one's really going to play in Fireplace, but it's generally where the plant's going to go down usually. However, because you've got those feet holes there, it means that way back in Reading now, you can hold pretty much all the fireplace. You can hold anyone coming through the fireplace. You can hold anyone planting in the corner. You can go prone here and see the corner of that room, corner of this part of the room. You can stop anything going down in Fireplace. And of course, like I said before, you've also got this line of sight here where you can see anything that's happening in the site as well. Now, in terms of upstairs, we've got a prox mine behind that. I haven't pinged the prox mine. That's embarrassing. Got a prox mine on the Pixel Door there. We'll hear the castle barricade go down. But if they make a rotate into bathroom using buck or sledge and then come out here, that's going to trigger as well. And then this is where I like to play as castle, is here in Cocktail. We make a rotate here. Throw your pox mine on the back of that bar. So whenever anyone comes, generally someone's going to drop the hatch, or they're going to come from new hatch. Sorry, drop the skylight, or come from new hatch. They're going to come around here. You're going to think they're sneaking up on you here, and by the time they get to there, that prox mine goes, and you know someone's about to come through this rotate. You're playing sort of usually here, or usually here, just holding the rotate. As soon as you hear the prox, get ready and make the kill. And make the kill, get the kill. The lines of sight you want upstairs are on the Reading Door, which is directly underneath this door here, which you get by doing this. Now you can see the Reading Door. Make sure you can see behind this bookcase as well. So either do a hole here. So now you can see behind the bookcase. That's another common plant spot. And then finally, you also want a line of sight here, which is what we did when we were all talking about defending upstairs. So you can see the laundry door. So from here, you can see the laundry rotate. You can see the laundry door. You can see the Reading Door. You can see the default plant. And we can stop Cocktail. And if you need to, if you know it's safe, you can push through Cocktail. Come around to here, and you can hold the Reading Door from here as well. It's a real power position to be above the site. If you know that they're not pushing Reading and they're going to try and plant Fireplace, again, you come down wide stairs and you can hold Fireplace from here. Or, of course, you could drop the hatch and hold Fireplace from here as well. Go prone here, hold the Fireplace. Tons of different ways you can hold that area of the map, but that's the setup for Reading. I really like playing here. I know normally we use smoke and mute to show setups, but the castle setup is honestly goated. I can't believe I've just said goated. I'm 34, nearly 35. In fact, I'm 35 in 6 days' time, so don't all buy me a present at once, please. But that's Reading and Fireplace. Okay, so finally, we've got Train and Fireplace, or Train and Dining, but everyone calls it Fireplace. I actually really don't like this site, and I would never play it if I could avoid it. I know it gets played a bit in casual. Obviously, you can't choose in casual, so I'll show you how to set it up. And I think, again, it's a bit like we talked about with other maps. If you've got a team of 5 who know what they're doing, then I guess you could make use of the site maybe, but I still think every other site is stronger personally. But basically what we're going to do is we'll show you the setup around this floor, but we're also going to be holding upstairs pretty much like we did when we defended top floor. So in terms of reinforcements, the first thing I want to talk about is I haven't reinforced white wall. So the wall that goes to white stairs wall. I feel that a bit like what we said on the last site, I sometimes would either make a line of sight across here so you can hold it from white stairs, or just make feet holes so you can hold it if you're coming up white yourself. Bear in mind the attackers are also going to come up white as well. They're going to be holding this angle, so whether you do that or whether you do what we talked about before, where you make the line of sight across that side of the wall there and you can hold it from here. This is why I don't like the site. I just don't think this white wall is a helpful place. Like, when you're defending reading as well, you can just open it and not worry about it. But because you're going to be defending the room on this side rather than the room over here, I don't like it. Personally, I don't like reinforcing it either, because I feel that it gives them a bit more protection. Like, once they get into this room, they know they don't have to worry about this side. Whereas if you leave it soft, they do have to worry about it. But essentially what I'm saying is, I'm not sure what the best way to do that is, but I don't like reinforcing it, is the end of that. Then we go upstairs, and we've got reinforcements on the cocktail wall like we normally would. And I know I normally do reinforcements, then line of sight, but I'm just going to do reinforcement and line of sight upstairs, and then go downstairs, just so we don't have to talk about upstairs any longer. So the usual rotates like we did when we defended upstairs. The rotate here on cocktail to make our way through under the skylight. I don't need to repeat that again. Same line of sight here. And then same rotate into freezer. We've then got the same rotate from freezer into bathroom. And finally the same line of sight. Again, you're going to be playing someone here to hold this area and peek this side. We've also reinforced the 2 top red walls and the hatch here. Now let's get downstairs and talk about the side. So basically, you set the top floor up. Apart from reinforcing the hatch, you set the top floor up exactly the same. So coming down to the actual site, there's a couple of key things that you need to do. One, this wall must be reinforced. If this wall isn't reinforced, attackers outside can just open that wall and it cuts off the entire site. As you can probably imagine, you can see all this part from the window anyway, but then if you don't reinforce this wall, all of this is done as well, and they can even cut off the fireplace rotate as well. So you will definitely want to be cutting that. You definitely want to be reinforcing this wall here. You then need to make a rotate here, because you don't want the only way between sight being that double door, this, which is easily cut off from that window. So you still need this as a way of sort of getting to this window to try and fight on it, throw C4s out of it, or even just to get between the 2 sites. And exactly the same way we talked about it on the other side, you need to do the same over here. Because if anyone ends up on that window, again, they can just cut off the fireplace, and you can't get between the 2 sides. So those 2 rotates are imperative. Then, we need to come over to this side. And we've got some rotates to make here as well. We're running out of shotgun shells. Line of sight all the way across here, and then your standard rotate here. And what I would then do as well is I'm going to run out of shotgun shells, so I can't do it. I can't do all the setup, but I would make the same feet holes that we did when we were defending Fireplace Reading. So feet holes across there, and there, for the exact same reasons that you can then stop the plant and fireplace, either by going prone or going further back and looking those feet holes there. That's how you defend around the map. This rotate is obviously just to get between pillar, and if you're on pillar and you don't want to, what you don't want to be doing is like force through this door. If you force through this door, the windows here, the stairs are there. There's no real other way around. Well, now you can go through the rotate here, come around this way if you need to, and now you can come from this side of the door, which is a lot safer. You can face one angle and then take the other angle if you want to. In terms of being on site, definitely open the hatch, which I can't do anymore because I've got no shotgun shells, but you want to open that hatch so you can drop and place C4 if you need to for the post plant, or while when the plant's going down. Remember, all this floor above into piano is soft, so if they get piano control, it can be pretty dicey. Again, a piano control was quite an easy thing to do as an attacker, so having piano control and then being able to open the entire like top floor of the site is not ideal as a defender. Obviously, there's certain objects you can play in here to be a bit safe. You can play in this train. You can go into this train. This is a real power position here. You can watch the hopping from the window. You can see the double door. You can even make a hole here. Oh, I'm trying to make a hole. I've got no C4, no shotgun shells. Make a hole there for C4 so you can throw it over to the default plant, which is generally here. Watch out for people opening this corner of the wall and just running straight through and trying to tuck plant here straight away. And also watch out for people jumping through the window and just running here to try and plant. It's difficult once they get to this position because you can't like come around here to stop them because you're going to get smoked by the window. You've got to make sure you use this rotate instead because it's much safer. That's pretty much it here. If you want to ever stop this sound, shoot the case or punch the case, up to you. Punch the case. That's one we haven't said before. Yeah, I don't like the sight personally. Oh yeah, we need line of sight here as well. We just haven't got the shotgun shells. You want a line of sight across here. And that means from here you can now hold top white if you need to, or you can even hold the fireplace walk-in door there from here if you need to as well. But again, if you're going to be playing here, you're probably going to get smoked by that window. I don't like it. That's how to set it up, or the most efficient way of setting it, with my humble opinion. I would play all the other 3 sites 55 times over before I played this site. But if you like it, up to you. That's why we love Siege, because everyone has an opinion. That's how I'd set it up. I hope it helps if you do decide to play down here. So there we have it. That's how to set up Kafe, in my humble opinion. Hopefully that can help a few of you out when it comes to setting up the sites. Again, I don't really like mining and fireplace at all, and I actually think reading and fireplace is probably my favorite site, although I don't think it's quite as strong if you're not in a 5-stack because it requires a little bit more coordination. As always, a massive thank you to everyone who's getting involved with the channel, whether you're liking, subscribing, commenting, whatever you're doing, even just watching once for 10 seconds. I'm immensely grateful for you even clicking on it to begin with. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.